Welcome back, guys, to another editing video. This one's not on Premiere Pro, but this is an editing video for all editing programs. Free editing programs for you. Now, I've put together a spreadsheet to kind of help you decide what editing program you should probably get. You can get this spreadsheet in the description below. Just click that link below and I'll send the spreadsheet to you. If you don't really have time to go through this whole video, or you just want to download it and you just want to cross-reference all the parameters to all the editing software that I have on the spreadsheet, you can go down there and download it. But let's get into it. Let me show you what is on here, all these free programs and all the parameters you should be thinking about or looking for. So what we have here is a list of all the free editing programs that I've managed to find that are good for you. These ones don't have a trowel. These ones don't have any watermarks. These are literally the ones you can just download and start using today. And they're pretty good ones here, actually. So what are the first things I kind of ask is, what level of software do you need? So I want to be very clear on this as well, that when I'm saying the level and you see the beginner, intermediate and advanced, this is not based on your ability, because any beginner can use any of the high-end professional software. It's just time for you to learn. It takes time for you to learn it, to be honest with you. But it's what do you really need professional grade editing software for what you want to do? So that's what this list is, really. So if I want to say beginners, these ones are really simple ones, things you can just jump straight into, quite frankly. It doesn't have big flashy features. It just does what you need. And Kapwing is one of them. It's a great software. It's a browser software, so it's very easy on your computer. You have Imovie. If you're an Apple user, Imovie is a great one to use. And you have Movavi, which is a Windows kind of version of Imovie. So those are really good basic ones, things you can just jump straight into. If you don't want anything too difficult, I suggest these ones. These ones are pretty good. And then we have intermediate. These intermediate ones, these ones are not just basic ones. They have a little bit of more features. You can do a little bit more than just basic edits. You have loads of transitions, effects, titles and things like this. Things, bells and whistles that make it a bit more attractive. They're not really like high-end. They're not professional. I'll say they're not industry standard. Let's say that. Not industry standard. Because these ones are actually, some of these ones are really good. Some of these are really, really good. Actually, Lightworks is actually an industry standard editing software. Not that anyone has heard of them, to be honest with you. Lightworks is hiding in the background. They've been around for a very long time. Before even Davinci Resolve, they've been out. And they've been free longer than Davinci Resolve. But Lightworks have cut themselves at the knees here, to be honest with you, at their features, and I'll explain what the kneecapping is. You have Shotcuts here as well. I really like Shotcuts. I've never heard of them before until I was doing this video, and looking at them, they seem pretty good. I really like them for what it is. So I'll be doing videos on every editing software I have here as well, kind of going a more in-depth analysis on them. So I'm intrigued on Shotcuts. I think it's a really good software. You have VSDC, again, an intermediate one. It's an alright one. It has really nice features, extra features, so it's definitely not a beginner's one. It definitely has some really good intermediate features that some quite advanced, to be honest with you. So it's one to look at. I think you should definitely have a look at it. And then we have advanced. These are the ones that are kind of like professional, industry standard, whatnot. I wouldn't say okay, so I wouldn't say HitFilm is industry standard, but it definitely has industry standard features in them. You can do visual effects in these. The audio in it is great. HitFilm and Davinci Resolve definitely are up there. Honestly, it's probably the best free software you can get out there. It's literally industry standard. There is a paid version that has a few things that are in there, but honestly, most of the time you don't really need those features. So we're going to go for what are you editing for in this section. Now, I've kind of split them in four kind of varieties. So social media, loads of people doing stuff on social media. Instagram is huge for video. So I think VDC, Kapwing and Imovie are pretty great. And these are just based off like features. Doesn't necessarily say that any of these other software you can't edit for social media. It's just these have a little bit of features that make it a little bit more better for it, like export to social media formats. That's super useful. Instead of trying to tweak settings to make sure it fits exactly the settings for your social media you want to export that, this editing software has it for you. VDC has that, Kapwing has that, and Imovie has that. And it makes it really easy. In some of these softwares, I think even, let me see, iMovie, you can literally upload directly to your social media from the editing program. So it helps you skip steps, which is great. It helps you out. I think that's why I put these as the 3. So if you can see that I put these as 1s and I put them as green, so you can easily see that these are the ones you should be looking at. And then I've also rated the other ones as 2 and 3. And these are secondary and tertiary ones you can look at. The tertiary ones are still pretty good. You can still use them, but I think the secondary ones just a little bit more better for it. I didn't put the exact reasons why. It can be an option. I say it still can be an option. But if you definitely want to do social media, I think these ones you should be at least researching. You can edit any of these on YouTube, to be honest with you. All of them are great for YouTube. But I've kind of picked certain parameters that make certain programs just a little bit more better. Which is basically you can export at YouTube format directly. You can kind of set your parameters within these programs, or most of them, I would say, for particularly YouTube. But with like Lightworks, you can actually upload directly from the program to YouTube. So it kind of saves time instead of exporting and then uploading. You're just basically just uploading straight to YouTube, which saves a lot of time. And what's really nice about Lightworks is that you have royalty-free music within the program, which is really useful. You don't have to be searching around, online looking for music. You have music just right there, and everything's based in the program. What you have for VSDC is that you can also export directly to YouTube. So that's why I put those 2 at the top for YouTube, just because it just makes your life a little bit more easier if you're constantly uploading to YouTube. But next, if you're doing films or music videos, these ones are the ones to look at. Now this is my playground, films. So I know a lot about in this section and what editing software to use. And honestly, Davinci Resolve and HitFilm, you got everything you need. Everything you need. Don't need to bother with anything else, because you're going to look around like, oh, I need to get this fixed, I need to get this fixed. Trust me, like, if you have any problems with post, Davinci Resolve is going to have ways to fix it. And you can easily go online to fix any problems you might have. I can go over there's too much. Honestly, there's actually too much. As you see in the description here, I've put a few things, but honestly, there's so much I can put in here to say why these 2. Lightworks, the only reason why Lightworks isn't in the film section, and Lightworks is probably even older than Davinci Resolve. They've been around a very long time, and they've been free for a very long time as well. But the thing with Lightworks is that it caps at 720p resolution in its free version. The paid version, you got no problem. But the free version, it really lets it down. No one wants to make a film that's 720p. YouTube, okay, really people want like 4K HD, but 720p, still, YouTube, not a huge deal. For a film, hell no. No one wants to make a film that's 720p. So I said, sorry, Lightworks, I can't put you in there. I had to put you as secondary. So I chose Shotcuts because I thought Shotcuts was really good. And it supports 4K HNX HD and ProRes, which are really good formats if you're really playing around with films and video. So you don't have any compression. And these are very good export rates or imports. If you are shooting professional grade cameras, you want to have these codecs. And yeah, so you also have VSDC, which is quite similar to Shotcuts, but I think Shotcuts just have a little bit edge over VSDC. And then we have events now and live video. Now this could be kind of anything. I kind of put events as like if you're doing weddings and parties and stuff. And also live video if you're doing like streaming and stuff like that. I put Davinci Resolve and HitFilm. Now, again, you can use any of these software to do it. I'm not sure about Kapwing. I don't think the support for event videos really work for it. There's a few limitations to Kapwing. And I think, again, the kind of the basic ones like iMovie, Movavi, you can do some stuff with these ones, but it doesn't have enough support. And I think the best support for like live events is that you have a good video management in the software. And Davinci Resolve and Hitfilm have great video management. They literally have a section for video management, which I think is really good and great. If you have loads of footage, you want to make sure you organize that well. You don't want it to just be everywhere and you're sifting through so much video and audio, sound effects and graphics and all this stuff. You want to have it to be very organized. And same with doing films and music videos. You want to be organized as well if you're dealing with a lot of footage. So I think that's why I've put Davinci Resolve and Hitfilm in there. And again, I've put a whole bunch of reasons why multicam editing. Plus, you got facial recognition in Davinci Resolve. If you don't know a reason why you want facial recognition, honestly, again, if you're the average guy, you don't need facial recognition. But if you're gonna do a lot of like touch-ups and stuff, that's awesome. Also, one extra thing I found out about Davinci Resolve, you can actually organize a folder with one person's face. You do the facial recognition within the organization of the folders, and it'll just pick out all the videos that like one person called John. They'll get all the videos of John that's in it and put it in the folder. Like, it could be useful. It could be quite annoying, but if you need it, you never know. No, great feature. And it's free. Right, so what we're going on next is just certain features, specific features that you might be looking for. And so I'll put these few here, which is creating effects or transitions, color grading, audio and adjustments, and operating system. We're going to start from effects. I know people like doing loads of music videos. They want to have like loads of cool, flashy effects to make it look cool and whatnot. Davinci Resolve and Hitfilm are probably the best for that because they literally have a visual effects and compositing part of the inside the program. Just like Premiere Pro has, Adobe has After Effects to do all that stuff. Davinci Resolve and Hitfilm have that built in to its editing program. Again, you can still do some of that stuff within Lightworks and Shotcut and VSDC. Still have like loads of different effects you can put in there, but you can't beat what Hitfilm and Davinci Resolve have, to be honest with you. And transitions. I also asked my sister, like, what is she looking for? She said transitions, which I thought, that's quite interesting. I'm not much of a transitions guy. I really like really simple, basic transitions, unless it's really motivated to have a really nice transition. I don't like useless transitions, but some people do. Some people like to be, candy-eyed and looking for like really cool transitions to keep the audience entertained. So that, okay, cool. So Hitfilm's probably really good because you can create your own transitions, custom transitions. They also have loads of built-in transitions as well. Most of these ones do. And again, same with Shotcut, so you can customize your own transitions and also overlays, which is really cool. So that's why I put those ones as like number ones to look for. But again, Davinci Resolve, you have quite a loads of transitions that are built in there as well as VSDC. All these other programs, you're going to get built-in transitions anyway, but how much of transitions are you going to get? Because I think it's a numbers game, to be honest with you, when it comes to these ones. But what really puts it over the edge for these ones is that you can create your own, which is really nice. And to be honest with you, you can kind of make your own depending on the program. But that's what I found on the website. That's what it said. So I was like, okay, cool. Next is color grading. You're not going to beat Davinci Resolve when it comes to color grading, hands down. If you know about editing software, Davinci Resolve is like up there. I think there's only like one other program that's like more industry standard than Davinci Resolve. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, Davinci Resolve. If color grading is important to you, I won't go anywhere else. But if Davinci really isn't what you want, then you can go for Hitfilm. Hitfilm still has really good features within it as well. Noise reduction, it supports LUTs and scopes and stuff that you might need as well. But again, all these other ones, Lightworks, Shotcuts, and VSDC, really have what you need to do some general color grading, to be honest with you. I'll say Hitfilm and Davinci Resolve is when you're going for really advanced stuff and really, really tweaking the small things. But just basic stuff you need to color grade, they have what you need, no problem whatsoever. And these other ones is just simple stuff like, brightness and contrast and saturation. But if you wanted a bit more, go for the intermediate ones that we have here. Next is audio adjustments. Audio and audio adjustments, I should say. Now, if audio is important to you, I'll probably look into these softwares. But if you can record really clean audio, you don't need to like touch audio, you just probably need to adjust the volume, and it's not a huge deal. And a lot of these do have really interesting, cool audio functions as well. But I've put Davinci Resolve, HitFilm, and Lightworks in here just because of the built-in audio mixers that they have. Davinci Resolve probably has the industry standard ones compared to all these other ones. You want to do a lot of EQing and lots of like not sound effects, but sound adjustments, effect adjustments. Honestly, these three are the ones to go. Also like noise reduction and stuff like that. You want to go for these ones. But if you have no problem with audio and you're happy with it, you just need something really simple, you don't necessarily need to deal with it. And plus audio is another learning curve to learn a lot about how to like deal with audio as well. But what's really important, I should say, is the operating system. This is probably one of the number one thing you should be looking at is, does my operating system even allow for this editing software? Majority of them are going to be for Windows, as you can see here, and Mac, but only iMovie, obviously, is only for Mac, and only VSDC is only for Windows. But also some of these do support Linux if you're on that road. Hey, I'm not on that road for Linux, but if you are, they got you. But also, what's really nice is Kapwing. Literally, you can use it on absolutely everything. You can use it on Windows, you can use it on Mac, you can use it on your phone, you can use it on Linux, you can use it on your iPad. As long as it has a browser, you can use Kapwing, which I think is really good, to be honest with you. So if you're doing stuff on the road, on the go, Kapwing is actually fantastic. Again, they have a few small limitations. You can see them in the notes that I have here. I think one of the limitations is how long it holds your videos for. I think it's about 2 days. So just make sure you get those videos done quite quickly. You can't really keep those projects in Kapwing for too long. And again, I'll be doing an in-depth review on all these softwares to kind of go in and understand what they're all about. This is more like an overview. And also what's really good to know is all these other things that I don't think people will be thinking about is the ease of use in its interface. I think interface is so important. You can look at all these features on their website and see, oh, this looks really cool. But how it's been used and implemented is what's very important. And you can have the best features in the world and you look at it and you're like, I don't know what I'm even doing. So if you're the person that literally just needs to edit a video right away, go for Kapwing and Movavi. Are really simple and easy. You can literally just jump in, you're editing straight away. But if you don't mind looking at a few videos, trying to understand the software a bit more, you can go for more of the simple ones and probably take you like a day, to be honest with you, depending on you, to be honest with you. If you can pick up software quite easily, you might even pick up these ones quite soon. But I'll say the difficult ones like Davinci Resolve, HitFilm, and VSDC. Let me talk about VSDC because honestly, just the look of its layout just looks quite complicated. I just looked at it and I'm like, oh, where do I even start with this? But in terms of its features, it's not that complicated compared to Davinci Resolve and HitFilm. It's just its interface isn't very pleasing to the eye, and it isn't very clear either. And that's why I put it as difficulty compared to Lightworks and Shotcut. But Davinci Resolve and HitFilm, they have so many features that you can do so much in that program that it is quite difficult to get to do everything you want to do, to be honest with you. But you can literally spend a day watching Davinci Resolve videos and you can edit a video in one day if you're doing something really simple. But I put it difficulty because there's so much to learn within Davinci Resolve that if you want to learn everything, it's going to be quite difficult. If you want to do something quite soon, you definitely can. Again, do something in a day. You can learn Davinci Resolve, you can learn HitFilm and get something edited. But if you want to learn everything, it's going to take a while. And lastly, what we have here is computer minimum requirements. Just have a skim through on some of these. These are minimum requirements. Sometimes you can even skim by, just like if you don't specifically have it, but this is drastically going to affect how it's going to efficiently run on your system. So I suggest I even have some of these. No, these are literally the minimum requirements. Some of these are going to have recommended. So it may be the minimum, but the recommended is actually probably even higher. So I probably just so for RAM, probably double for all of them. All of them says RAM. I'll say double it, and you should be good. But if you don't have that much RAM, you should be fine. You should be fine. I think processor is really important when it comes to editing software. If it doesn't run on your processor, it's going to be a really big problem. I have a really old workstation. Premiere Pro doesn't work on it. It shut it down. So I don't edit on that workstation anymore just because of the processor. So that's really important. Also, having a GPU is really important, especially when dealing with video. I suggest you have a GPU, unless you're doing something really simple. Then you should be fine. But the only one you don't have to worry about minimum requirements is Kapwing, because it's a browser based. So you should be fine. As long as you have an internet connection, you should be fine. And then I just added some notes here on like special features and things like that. You can also find way much more on the website as well. If you go into the website, it'll be in the description below. And this spreadsheet will be in the description as well. If you just click on the link, I'll be able to send you the spreadsheet to you, and you can look at it yourself. If this me going through is a bit too quick and you have to spend some time to like cross-reference each and every one, because that's what I made this for, so you can literally just look at it and just pick what you need. So you can also just look at the extra notes that I have here as well. These are just notes on specific features that I found that I thought would be quite useful to you and help you make your decisions that are not specifically in this spreadsheet. So definitely have a look at that. You can get this spreadsheet at the link at the description below. If you just click on that link, I can send you the spreadsheet to you so you can look at it at your own time. Especially if you don't have the time for this video, you can definitely have a look at that and just take your time to cross-reference what you want as well. This is just basically an overview of the spreadsheet and kind of me explaining a few things just to help you understand why I've put certain things in the certain parameters that they are. So yeah, definitely. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below, or you can message me on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description below. Hit me up, let me know. I am happy to help. This is for you. I really want to help people just really find programs for them. Again, these ones are free software. There are paid versions as well. And let me know if you want a paid version. You don't mind spending a little bit of money. There are some intermediate, cheaper editing softwares that are out there. If you don't mind spending a little bit more money, they're great. Again, it depends on you. Honestly, Davinci Resolve is a non-stop. That's all I need, to be honest with you. But again, if you want something more simpler, you don't have to have that big learning curve or takes up a lot of memory and a lot of space. Like honestly, Davinci Resolve is hard on your system. You don't have a good system, you want something that's kind of better. Shotcuts is great, but let me know if you want that other video where I can do a whole list on the cheaper videos. But again, I'll be doing each and individual editing software, going through them and helping you decide. So definitely subscribe so you can know when that comes out. Hit the notification bell when it comes, because it's going to be kind of fun. I'll be going through it fresh and new. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think and make sure you like as well. That would be fantastic. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So, bless you.